Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. And this is my first review, so let me explain a few things. First, I'm recording this on iTouch, so yeah, it might be a little wobbly, and the video and sound quality is probably going to be terrible, but... this is going to be a more serious review, but later episodes I hope to be a little more humorous. Something along the lines of, for those of you who watch internet TV, probably like the Nostalgia Critic or the Angry Video Game Nerd. Anyway, a movie I just saw is called J. Edgar, starring a new Clint Eastwood movie starring Leo DiCaprio. What should I talk about first? Let's see. Well, of course, Leo DiCaprio was very good. He almost always is, and he almost always is. He really pulls off like the seriousness of the character. And let me explain the character for you. The things he does in this movie, he invents the Dewey Decimal System, creates the Federal Bureau of Investigation, develops fingerprinting as a forensic science, proposes to women he's gone on exactly three dates with. He lives with his mother till he's, even though he's like 30. He wages war on communism. He flirts with a male co-worker, hates Richard Nixon, tries to blackmail John F. Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy, and tries to intimidate Martin Luther King Jr. I did not make any of that up. That's what happens in the movie. Sorry for the spoilers, and needless to say, J. Edgar was a complex man, wasn't he? So let's see, what else is the movie? The story, well, the story was a little, how can I put this, fragmented. Like, it was told in a flashback for the most part. It's like him writing his memoirs. It just like there were flashbacks, then flashbacks that like, and they really seemed out of place. Like they didn't fit there. Like there's a scene when he's talking to his mother, and then there's suddenly a flashback to when he's like 12. That didn't really have any purpose in there. Probably should have been cut. But all around, it was a very engaging story. It showed us like the trials he went through. Like, although there were some things that really didn't amount to anything. Like there's at one point where he has there's a 5-minute scene where he's like trying to deal with a stutter that he's suddenly developed for no apparent reason. It's never very clear on why that happened, or when that happened for that matter. There's also the speed. Anyway, there's also a scene where he's talking with his mother about a friend of his who was when he was like younger. I don't remember how old they said it was. It was high school or something. Anyway, they found out the friend was gay, and they found out the friend was gay, and once everyone found out, the friend killed himself a few days later. And his mother said, I'm paraphrasing here, he said she'd rather have a dead son than a gay son. And you've probably heard rumors that J. Edgar Hoover was gay, and in the movie it's made pretty clear that he may or may not have been. Actually, it's not very clear on that at all. It's difficult to explain how it goes. That basically it's about him flirting with this man named Clyde, who he grows very close with. It's actually a very believable story. There's no stereotypes thrown or anything. It's just them being friends, I guess, or possibly more than friends. I'd like to talk about one of the more technical things. Like, I didn't enjoy the lighting. How do I explain the lighting? Imagine if I did this review like this. Yeah, almost every shot that was indoors was like this. Half their faces were shrouded in shadow. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose, and I don't mean they do it just a few times. I mean they do it like every single indoor shot in the movie is like that. I have no idea why. Anyway, the editing, like I said, it can be a little sudden at points, but that doesn't really take away too much from the story. The makeup, actually, I've heard some reviews of the movie that criticize the makeup as being silly, but I didn't find it that silly. I found it actually pretty convincing that he did look like a 60-year-old man, even though he's like 30 in real life. It was pretty convincing, and there's no CG. It's actual like prosthetic makeup. It's pretty, which is something you don't really see much in modern movies. So J. Edgar, yeah, all around a pretty enjoyable movie. It can be a little boring, and yes, at points, but only for a few minutes. And it was also pretty long. It felt like it went on a little longer than it should have. Like, not incredibly long, just like a little overextended. So all around, if you like history or just good movies, go see it. If you don't. If you don't, then oh well. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, and goodbye.